Come on! The rodeo clowns! Woo! Just stare into the screen and... Hey Raven, I saw your drone thing. That was pretty cool, man. Pretty damn cool. You actually set it up in your house just like the ESPN shows. And you're standing in the middle of the room with your baseball hat in the dark. It's crazy. Do you have one of those masks on, those goggles on? Time for a drink too, everybody. Ah, thank you.
Gray, I can tell you how to drink.
Yeah. I'm gonna start this over again. Yes. From the green forests of the Pacific Northwest, I bid you all good evening. Or good morning, as the case may be. Shout out to Art Bell, who's speaking into the golden mics up in heaven, I guess they would say, or wherever the hell he is. Art Bell was the absolute best radio talk show host that's ever lived, in my opinion. Even better than Paul Harvey, for example. I'm drinking Gatorade and Absolute. Boom, boom, boom. All right, we got the generic show on tonight. Just absolute generic everything. So here we go. If you'd like to call in the show, the number is on the screen now. All right. Excellent. That's right. There we go. It's all ready for you to call in and to talk about whatever the hell it is that you want to talk about. And if this live stays on YouTube after the show, it'll be a freaking miracle. Come on, trolls, where are you? Would love it if you'd call in tonight. It'd be absolutely fantastic. Or if you're a normal person, that would be great too. But would love to hear from the trolls out there. You know, the morons who have nothing better to do but sit around late at night eating pizza and thinking, I got it, man. What I'm going to do is call a YouTuber up who has 200 views, viewers on there at the moment, and watch this. This is going to be incredible, everybody. Watch this. Hello. Hi. Yes. I'm calling up about pizza. That's hilarious. Boy, you really got me on that one. What a bunch of idiots. Really. Seriously. Oh, look at that. There's some trolls calling. Let's see. Hopefully, let's see what we got here. Let's see what we got. Who do we got on the line here? 1214. Who do we got here? Who do we got here? Who do we got? 214. Who do we got?
Hello?
Is this 214? Is this 214?
Gray?
Yeah, hello, how's it going? What's going on?
Oh, what's up? It's Alphalax.
Oh, it's Alphalax. Alright. How the hell's it going?
Yeah, I've been off for a while. I've been taking care of some school stuff.
Oh, wow. Good for you.
I wanted to call in for a while now, because I have set up everyone in chat, I have set up a subreddit for us to all communicate on.
Oh boy.
And that subreddit is, if you go to Reddit and you type r/F freaks _ investigates.
Put it in the
on
chat.
Reddit.
Like, put it in there. Like, you know, the actual, you know. Like, put
Hold
it
on,
in
let me get to my tablet.
Hey, well, what is a subreddit as compared to a Reddit? Yeah.
A subreddit is just Reddit is the site that everyone uses, and a subreddit is just I don't know if I can explain it very well. It's just like a community. There's several little subreddits on Reddit.
Right,
several different communities for different things.
When I was being trolled on Reddit, when they made that big post about me, it's still there, by the way. They said, "Oh, maybe we should create a subreddit about Gray." But they already had a post about me. Is there a difference? I mean, what's the difference?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's like the dark web. Is it sort of like the dark web of Reddit? You know, this, ooh, my God, he's in the subreddit. Like that.
Hold on, I'm typing it in real quick.
Okay, all right.
And I would like everyone to make a subreddit, or make a subreddit, make a Reddit account, and I encourage everyone to join this. And
let's do it, man.
And check in on the post that I have pinned. I just typed it in there, r/freaks _ investigates. And that's where everyone will be talking about crime when you're not live. And what I wanted to do is, if anyone could find any cases, you can go on Reddit and look before you go live, and you could cover those cases.
Oh, sweet.
So hopefully it's active. Hopefully everyone uses the sub, and we can really grow your channel.
Well, I appreciate it. Or get trolled even more, right? But either way, it's
it happens. It happens with any community.
Well, that's okay. That's okay. But hey, I got all these other people. How you doing in school, by the way?
I'm doing good. I'm doing better than I did last semester.
Yeah. All right. Well, here's the thing: is school is something where if you're interested, do this. Make yourself interested. Don't let your schooling go by and just go, oh yeah, I just wasn't interested. See, the thing is, I didn't realize that it was actually interesting until I was like 24. I mean, literally, I went to college for about 6 years. And then probably the last 2, I finally went, you know what? This shit's interesting. I shouldn't even have gone to college the first 4 years, to be honest with you, because I wasn't ready to be there. But just realize that the shit's interesting and take the time to learn it, and you'll actually get a hell of a lot better grades. You know, it's actually more important than the bullshit on the side, the fun part of college. You know.
Yeah, I've been doing better in school. So.
Well, good. All right. Well, that's not that you asked for any advice, but that's what I'm telling you. All right.
All right. I'll let somebody else go ahead and call in.
Okay.
And
cool.
Mods, if you can spam. Well, not spam, but copy the subreddit and post it in there every once in a while. That would be great for me.
Yeah, and also put it in the Facebook groups, in a post.
Okay.
All right, cool.
Okay, that sounds good. Thank you,
cool.
Gray.
Yeah, thanks, Alphalex. Thanks.
Goodbye.
All right, see you. All right. This is 404. How's it going, 404? How's it going?
Hey, Greg, how's it going? It's Wraith.
Oh, it's Wraith? As in,
Yep.
Wraith
Yowler.
Yowler. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, how's it going? As in
Mr. Shadow Man. There you go.
Begone, Shadow Man.
Yes, exactly. I was, thinking you were going to get a couple more prank calls, hecklers, whatever have you. So I'll just call in.
Well, I got it really quick on the button, just in case. You just never know.
Gotcha. Yeah, I thought for a second I'd try to mess with you, but I was like, no, he'll just drop me.
Oh yeah, but trust me, you were it was already really close, even without even knowing who you were. All right. So what's going on? What do you want to say about? You must want to say something about that case, right?
Well, just a couple of things really. One, wanted to touch base actually on the whole, shadow figures and stuff. And I had told you originally that I was only the second owner of the house, and I actually did more digging and stuff. And I wasn't expecting to be up this late. I'm on the East Coast. It's almost 1 o'clock, so I can't go back into the office and look through it. But there's actually like 4 other families that lived in the house before us, so I have some more information on that and stuff too. I don't know. I might just date the video that you posted or something.
Oh, that'd be cool.
But
update.
What I had thought was
was Shadow.
Correct.
Oh yeah, go ahead. I was just doing a commercial for it. All right, go ahead.
But that's pretty much it. Just wanted to kind of set the record straight on that. I didn't know if that was something you were like, well, let me just see if he's telling me.
What's funny is I see you and I we're all over the place.
There's more people that live there.
Yeah. I mean, you and I have been it's funny. You're always all over the place. Where like we show up on Randy Gravitz's live sometimes. It's like, really? I mean, what are the odds, right?
Yeah. I'm all over the place. Yeah. I am. I hit the jackpot basically. I'm pretty much a stay-at-home dad. I got an awesome wife, so I'm here with the kids, and
oh, nice.
I get a bunch of stuff to occupy my mind. Sometimes it's bad, just thinking a little too much into stuff.
I actually think of you as the American Raven. See, when Raven calls, it has the same feel as when you call in. You ever hear the Australian guy that calls in? You ever listen to?
Oh, yes. That was I remember looking at the chat and everybody was like, "Oh, his voice is so awesome." And stuff.
Oh yeah, that part.
Call in and just start talking like that too. Hey, how's it going, mate?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, you hear that? Everybody do it again. Come on. Hey, look at Wraith Yowler is just as cool. Did you hear that shit? Do it again, man. Do the Australian voice.
yeah. Believe it or not, we call ourselves a nice gate out there.
Wow! Bam! Look at that shit, man. He kicked that shit out of that one. That was good.
So,
that was actually pretty good.
I think, and I know when we talked before, I had mentioned and stuff, like one of the cases that first got me involved in like true crime and stuff was the West Memphis 3 and stuff, and I always talk about it. So I was going to use this call too right now just to kind of see if you could get the chat behind me a little bit and try to push you in that direction to maybe talk about it a little bit one day. And then there's just a shit ton of stuff.
It's kind of like a deep dive. It's one of those ones that it wouldn't be just one show. You'd be doing it for.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'd love to do it. I've actually looked into it. Just kind of. In groups, I actually even went to Google Earth and shit, and I looked around and stuff, but never quite made a show.
So interested in that Alfred plea and how you could basically just say, I'm guilty, but I'm innocent, so you'll let me out of jail, and then you don't have to look into the case any further. It's solved.
Well, the Alfred plea, I think, is saying, I know that you have enough information to find me guilty. I'm not admitting guilt, but I'll accept the punishment that you're giving me. That's what it means.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. So, do you not think that those 3 that were arrested did it? I mean,
I believe they did. Yes.
You think they did?
I think that just personally, yes. And going through all of the just court transcripts back in the day, it was on this Callahan website where they had everything. Exhibit 500. I mean, just pages and pages and pages of everything. And if you take away like the whole state angle of they were Satanists and or just into this dark art, listening to heavy metal and just looked at just the facts of, you know, failed polygraphs and timelines don't add up and stuff. Knots, 3 knots, all being tied different ways. You know, there's just so much that's too coincidental.
But it's weird that they would do what they did to those kids. Right?
Yeah.
That part.
Yeah.
I mean, like, what, you know, heavy metal doesn't really make people do that shit, you know. But I guess if you're in the dark arts and whatever, you know, I don't know. It's just sort of, it's just a weird, the whole thing's weird. Yeah, so let's do it. You know, we'll just start, maybe we'll have like a basic show on it, get all the little points. Hell, you can even, you know, if you want to come on and be sort of the, you know, work through it. That'd be cool. Because it sounds like you've been working on it.
I'll talk about some things, sure.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to do every time if you don't want to, but, you know, maybe I could, or, you know, I could just open up the phones type of thing, and you call in, and, all right.
It's not a problem, but I hear the music going. It's almost like the Grammys. The music starts up. It's like, all right, that's cute. Cut it.
Oh, no, that's. I think it actually gets quiet when we're talking. It's been playing the whole time. But yeah,
all right.
See, when we're talking, it dies down and then it kicks back in. But I hear a lot. So 1, 2, 3, be quiet. See how you could hear it there?
Yeah, I got it. Yep.
Yeah. So it's actually been playing the entire time. But yes, I should do it that way. Hold on, let me play it. I'm just kidding. Okay, do the Australian one more time. You know, get the ladies to like you. Come on, do it. Come on, do it again.
Oh, no. I got to think of something to say.
Yeah.
You can't just put me on the spot like that.
Oh, come up. Oh, crap. Oh shit! I got a call. I got a call coming in on the on Skype for some reason. Oh, I can just let it go right to voicemail now, though. It's awesome. You still there?
Yes, I'm still here. I'm still here.
So you could hear that.
All right, I'll say, don't they, Australians, they call female Sheilas, right? So like, all right, all you Sheilas out there, behave yourselves. I know you're getting to gray. And have a lovely night.
There you go. All right, he's like you have the educated version of an Australian, just a slight accent. You're running for politics. All right, good stuff. All right.
There you go.
All right, thanks.
All right, take care.
Yeah, good talking to you. See you later. Yeah, I had 2 people drop off that were on hold. They were probably trolls who just didn't want to have to keep waiting. All right, let me answer this one. Hello, is this Ian Barnes?
It is, Gray. How you doing?
Pretty good. What made you call this number when it wasn't even on the screen? Oh, is this...
I tried to find you through Skype on the number, but I couldn't get through. So
are you from Scotland or Ireland? I'm just guessing.
Yeah, it's a good guess. I'm kind of both. Yeah.
You sound great, though. You're really clear. I don't know what the hell's going on, but...
Yeah, I've got an actual mic, so
okay.
It's not one of the laptop microphones, so it should sound all right.
So you have a Yeti microphone, something like that?
It's a Pro Sound USB mic. So.
Oh, okay. Sounds good.
Yeah, so I'm in Ireland. I'm in Galway, but I'm from Scotland, so yeah, you're right.
Wow, I nailed it.
You absolutely hit the bullseye, mate.
Wow, pure luck. But yeah, that was cool.
Yeah. So yeah, I just thought we'd open up to show you the global reach you have here, Gray.
Oh yeah. So what's you actually watch it over there, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I know you have viewers all over the place. Australia, New Zealand, the UK. Yeah, I just wanted to say I was listening earlier there to your previous one, and it was just so frustrating to hear those troll callers wrecking.
Yeah,
it's kind of, it just kind of shows you on YouTube. It really brings out such a variety of different people. You know, people that just want to piss all over creative people, and
yeah,
it's quite interesting actually to see the kind of people that do stuff like that. You know, it must be frustrating for you.
Well, what they should do is actually see who these people are and kind of see what's going on in their brains. It's just think about how bored you'd have to be, or I don't know how to even explain it. Like, how did you even find a channel? I am live, but there's a lot of people doing live videos, and there's maybe 200 people watching in the world, and somehow you show up on. I mean, more people watch it later. But like when it's live, and then you show up and you feel like you need to call in and troll it. It's weird.
Do you know what it is? It's the easiest way to get a kick, for some of these guys. All you have to do is call up and shout out some expletive or something to get some shock value. And it's like the 15 seconds of fame online.
Right, but it's just so lame. So
I know.
You said it to 15. You said it to 200 people. Yay! You're so cool now, dude. You've really made the big time. Yeah, 200 people heard you say it. It's like maybe 3,000 by the time, but it's still like 3,000 people out of 7 billion is really like nothing. A drop in a star in the universe. Nothing.
I know, exactly. And it's the fact that it takes such little talent to do it as well. Just call up and just like. And did you hear the guy that called up earlier after, I don't know if it was his girlfriend or flatmate or something? You heard him kind of snigger after his bad N-word.
Yeah, he was so excited about it.
I know, and I knew you were apprehensive. You could kind of tell when he called up that.
Yeah, I could tell. Yeah, I already knew because he was like, "Yeah, I was talking about something you're talking about." Like he didn't even seem like he knew what show we were talking about. Yeah, and then he like he didn't have a clue. He didn't really give a shit, and you could tell he was probably right next to the other friend that called before.
Yeah,
it was pretty funny. It's like they think they're so clever, but he's sitting right there, and the friend snickering, so it made him laugh too. You see, it was pretty obvious just listening to the whole how that worked. Galway, is that in?
It's on the west coast of Ireland.
How close is it to like Killarney or something like that?
Yeah, it's not too far. I think. Did you say before you were over in Killarney?
Yeah, we did a 10-day golf trip. We like the Ring of Kerry out there, kind of driving around. Like we played Tralee, Ballybunion, Waterville, Old Head, a place called the Dukes. It was built in like 18 something.
Wow.
So we played all those. It was crazy. I mean, I got to tell you, like Killarney. I could just live there, It's like it was just
nice.
It's just such nice. The people, like you're walking down the street and people are in the pubs all singing songs and shit. All the the Irish beer drinking songs, whatever, or the folk music. Not every place, but that just sort of it's the way it is. They have such a great culture. We don't really have one here. We're sort of just we don't have a culture in the United States. It's just sort of.
I don't know. I think
there's multiple cultures, but Ireland has like a cohesive culture. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. I hear what you're saying. It has its kind of niche,
Like you could go to like, Louisiana. There's a culture. Texas. There's one. Like everybody. There's different ones all around the country, but it's neat where that Ireland kind of has a. I don't know if they have multiple cultures. I mean, they might, but it seems like there's more of they're all a common culture type thing. I don't know. Yeah,
you're right. Yeah, I mean, they have their own kind of niche in terms of culture. The whole folky thing going on.
Love it.
But I mean, Galway is really similar to Killarney. If you're ever over again, you should definitely check out Galway. It's got the same kind of vibe, the same kind of arty thing going on, and all the traditional music and everything.
I think we talked about that when we were there. Like, hey, we just never made it.
Yeah.
Especially since we're from the United States, trying to drive on those roads backwards. Yeah, we just want to make it alive to the next place. I mean, some of those roads they're ridiculous. They're literally one lane width in the middle of the night, and it's just you're driving on the wrong side because you're not from there. Yeah, it's just oh my god, it was like
yeah. I mean, we used to live out in the country, out in the sticks, before we moved down to the city, and you would see the kind of local farmers would be in the pub, you know, until closing time, and then you'd see them walking out into their tractors, you know, after 6 or 7 Guinnesses, driving these massive tractors home.
Oh yeah. Oh my god, I don't know how you could deal with that. You know what's funny is our trip. So we had one of those trips where you buy the whole trip, and we got a what was it? Each place we went, we got a pint of Guinness. And it was weird about Guinness over there is they actually have charts on the wall, like what a pint of Guinness costs. It's almost like a form of currency, almost like gold. You know, what's the price of gold? Okay, well, Guinness now is $1. You know,
it's up to 7.
Yeah.
7 Guinnesses.
Yeah. Well, what's funny is one night before we played Waterville, right? So the night before Waterville, you know, most of us had a couple drinks, whatever. We had one friend that had 13 pints of Guinness, and he only weighs like 160 pounds. 13 pints of Guinness and a couple Irish coffees, and he obviously he didn't make it out the next day.
Yeah,
but it was a miracle. Oh, it was a miracle because we got to that course, and it was 60-mile-an-hour winds. Like literally, it was so ludicrous. We all shot 30 shots higher than our normal scores. So he just sat around at home, and we're out in this brutal weather. But anyways. That's where, you know, his 13 pints of Guinness actually made sense. I wouldn't have wanted to have been around him as he was going to the bathroom the next day, though, because I was trying to picture, like, that must have been, like, just tar.
Oh, my God. I mean, Guinness.
13 pints of that
Guinness,
crap? That's just...
Yeah.
Oh, my God. It's like oil, you know? It's like, I don't
know. I mean, Guinness does terrible things to your bowels.
Yeah, and that's probably when you just have 2 pints, right? But he had 13, so...
Yeah. Wow.
And I remember I was in a bar, I've told this on here before, but it said, like, I was wondering because it was a warehouse, and then I asked, I said, hey, how old is this place? And the person said, I can't remember if he said 1,100 and something or 1,400. You know, it's been there that long.
Every chance, yeah. I mean, there's so many buildings over here that go back, you know, 1,000 years. It's crazy.
Yeah, so that's probably maybe 1,100s then.
Yeah.
That's just ridiculous. You know, we don't have anything like that over here. Like 1,600, maybe 17 at the, you know.
The way I look at America is, I know like you guys get a lot of stick sometimes, you know, because it tends to be the way with media that it kind of highlights all the kind of negative things and stuff. But I mean, to me, America is like a microcosm of all the best things about Western culture. And fair enough, you have, you know, when you've got a place like America that's so huge and, you know, has such influence, it's always going to exaggerate both sides of things, you know. To me, America is the capital of the world, you know.
Yeah, well, it's cool to hear that. I mean, I know it's funny. I mean, everybody always says, like, the President of the United States is the leader of the free world. You know, it's never another Western country, you know. So maybe that's sort of the perception that's out there, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it's... If you think about, you know, going back to, you know, when the founding fathers went over and everything, if you imagine the kind of personalities of the people that would move over to America, it would be the kind of brightest and most adventurous kind of people that would move over. Do you know?
Right.
I know that's a huge generalization, but
well, no, it is true though, because they're the ones that got here, and a lot of them died going over the trails, and just really the strongest, Darwin's theory was working on that.
Yeah.
The strongest people made it across, and it's like, wow, they did it.
Yeah.
They had the guts to do it. I mean, it was just brutal back then. I mean, what's weird is that's not even that long ago, like 18 something or other. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, in relative terms, when you think about history, it's like a matter of days ago, really, when you look at the grand scheme of history. America is such a young country.
Yeah, it's amazing. Because, like we were just saying, I was in a bar that was 1100s, right? It was a warehouse or something. But that was literally 700 years or so before anybody was even trying to cross the United States, right?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy when you kind of try and visualize that in terms of time.
Now somebody's typed in 1600s. Great, no, they didn't cross the United States in 1600s. That was like the Oregon Trail, all that shit. That's like 18 something.
I think so when did the Spanish come over to South America? Was that a bit earlier? I don't know.
Yeah, there's stuff like that, but and I'm just talking about when the migration from the East Coast, where people made their way to Oregon and to fill out the United States.
Oh,
that was in the 1800s.
Yeah, okay.
So those are the people that were like, are you kidding? I mean, crossing over the the Cascade Mountains with all the snow and making it into California, Oregon, all that. It's just it's nuts. All those like 3,000 miles with what do you call it? Those wagons with wooden wheels with the I don't know, man. Every time you see some of that, you just wonder how the hell they did it. Survive.
You just you just reminded me of one of my favorite films, actually. Is it Once Upon a Time in the West? Have you seen that?
I haven't.
Oh, it's a great film. It's one of Sergio Leone's films. Do you know how you had the Clint Eastwood spaghetti westerns?
Yeah. I know those.
yeah. If you like them, you'll love Once Upon a Time in the West. It's the same director, Sergio Leone. Henry Fonda.
I like him. He's good.
Yeah, but it was about the whole, exactly what you're talking about. The kind of the first travelers over to the West.
I'm gonna write that down. Once upon a time. All right, got it.
Once upon a time.
So, do you do YouTube? Do you do YouTube or anything?
I'm just in the process of starting up a channel.
What are you doing?
Well, it's going to be a kind of mixture of true crime and just kind of cultural commentary. And it shall be called Rabid Dog. Shall be the name, but
Rabid Dog. Huh?
Yeah, catchy, huh?
Well, actually, it's not too bad. Maybe. Are you going to focus on where are you going to do like European crimes? There's some crazy crimes that go on over there.
Maybe so. There is some crazy true crime going on over here in Ireland and Scotland and stuff. So, I mean, obviously, I'm like everyone else, and this is probably going to frustrate you, Gray, but the Chris Watts thing really seems to have obsessed everyone for a while, and I know it's going to make you puke.
Well, I'm going to cover it when he comes out with his version of what happened. That's news, okay? Because that's something I want to hear that thing, but I don't want. What I don't want to hear is like what? Oh wow, a new text message. Breaking news, everybody! Chris Watts was lying when he said. It's like, we know. He admitted it.
Yeah. It's crazy because it's like, it's the same with a lot of the cases that you're covering recently as well. Obviously, you're moving on to different cases and stuff. Yeah. And there's a lot of people that they almost they view it as some kind of puzzle that they kind of look for riddles that are not there. When sometimes it's just quite straightforward.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It's like the recent Lewis Coleman case. I mean, there's no way in hell he didn't kill her. It's just
Right, yeah.
I mean, people saying, you know, maybe she passed out and, I don't know, choked in her own vomit and stuff. If that was the case, there's just it makes absolutely no sense whatsoever that you wouldn't just 911, you know.
There's no way. That's kind of what I'm saying. Is there's so many. Yeah, it's possible that she died. Like, he didn't intend to kill her. However, no matter what, I mean, he might not have. That's still out there. He might not have intended to kill her, but his actions killed her, and that's why he freaked out, chopped her up, and that's why he may have done it. I actually think I think he could be a serial killer. I mean, this is what they do. They abduct somebody, they drive them 40 miles away, bring them into their apartment, late at night. Hell, it was probably, by the time he got home, it was 3:40 in the morning. Nobody's up at that time. He probably didn't even realize that there were cameras filming him. How could he not do that, though, Gray? He's an engineer. It's like, see, that's the thing, is people always want everything tied up in a neat little box to explain everything, and sometimes there just isn't. People make mistakes, That's how it works.
Yeah, that's exactly what I mean, and I think you're completely right that that there's a huge chance he's done it before. I mean, you don't go from nothing to chopping up a body and driving out with 2 suitcases. It's just not going to happen that way,
Right. It's out there somewhere, but here's the thing: is like the last thing you'd think of if something like that went wrong would be to chop somebody up. Because think about the process of what you're doing. Is like you're going, oh my god, okay, I got to hide this. Tell you what, I got a nice sharp butcher knife. Let's just start hacking away. Yeah. I mean, it's just ludicrous, right? I don't know we don't know exactly what he was doing. But let's put it this way: if she's in 2 suitcases, there was a lot of butchery going on there. Right?
God, it's absolutely horrible, absolutely horrible.
Yeah, it's insane.
The only other thing I wanted to mention there, I better let you go on with other callers, but Nicole Kessinger, this has been something that's kind of gnawed at me for a while. I do not quite get the hate that's out there for her. I mean, I understand that she came across terribly. She came across terribly, but just imagine how you would react if all of a sudden the guy that you're seeing turns out to be a family annihilator. Of course you're going to start freaking out. Of course you're going to start, try to delete messages.
Right, that's exactly right. I tell people that. It's like,
you just want to distance yourself from the whole thing. I mean, anyone would do that. I mean, I know that it looks bad that she was looking at book deals and stuff, but I mean, you don't know if that was just a fleeting thought that was in her head. It doesn't necessarily mean she's some conniving, evil, mustache twirling criminal,
Yeah, like, how did Amber Fry get treated? Well, she probably was curious now, because she's basically in the exact same situation that Amber Fry was in.
Maybe
go ahead.
Maybe just in a weak moment she just Googled it. I mean, we all do sort of like silly things like that. It doesn't necessarily mean that's exactly what we're planning to do. Maybe she was.
You're in the same book I am. I guarantee it. If you looked at your let's say your next door neighbor was found dead, and they came into your house and they said, we'd like to check your computer, and they looked at it, man, they'd arrest your ass in 5 seconds, right? Because
I know,
because it's going to say stuff like, I look up everything. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So you're going to look like a psycho. It's going to say serial killers, trucker serial killers, and then they're going to wonder, God, does this guy drive a truck? What's he doing?
Yeah. Exactly right. I mean, it's so easy for people to be so judgmental when they're viewing other cases and other celebrities and things like that. I mean, I don't know. It kind of reminds me. I don't know if you remember the Pete Townsend thing that happened there. God, about a decade ago. Do you know the guitarist from The Who?
Yeah, I know who he is, but I didn't hear anything.
Yeah. Well, there was a big scandal where he had been doing some research on pedophilia, and it got found out, like someone like contacted the cops or something. I don't know how it got out, but he just got absolutely tarnished by this. And all he was actually doing was doing some research because he had a family member that went through it. Do you know? So he was maybe Googling up stuff just to try and find out, you know.
Yeah, but I think everybody. I mean, the thing is, I've looked it up because I want to know what it, you know, like what. First of all, what's the definition of one? See, a lot of people always think when somebody's 15 and they're raped by somebody, they go, "Oh God, that guy's a pedophile." Well, no, that's not actually true, right? It's pre-puberty children, and then you learn. Then you know, I actually was looking up. Is it genetic? Because there's been cases where there's twins, where one's a pedophile and the other isn't. So then you kind of go like, well, gosh, that's weird, right? Like, if they're clones, why wasn't the other one? You know? I don't know.
So it must. Yeah. So obviously it can't be completely genetic. It must be, you know, partly environmental as well. You know. Yeah. But it's crazy.
But see, that's the whole thing, is like just right now, even having that conversation. Oh, did you guys hear what they were talking about? Oh my God! See, people are just nuts, right? They don't. I know. There's like this little. Our society, and actually, not just in the United States, the whole Western culture is becoming so PC now that just little trigger things. You got these. Yeah. It sucks. I hate it. Okay.
Exactly, and that's something that I'm going to be covering as well in my channel.
Yeah, you should.
And it's so highlighted in America right now. It's absolutely fascinating, you know. And I mean, who was the guy there a few weeks ago that came out with some bullshit story that he got jumped by white supremacists? And
that guy. Yeah, what an idiot. Yeah, I forgot his name. I didn't really. It's weird because everybody gave him the benefit of the doubt in the certain media outlets like CNN, MSNBC. Oh yeah, oh my God, of course, yes. But it turns out it was all bullshit. Every single bit of it. There was no reality to it.
Yeah. Jussie Smollett. I can see it in the chart there.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah. I mean that was just like a perfect metaphor for so many things that are going wrong with the whole PC craziness, you know. He basically just tried to hit every single, you know, shock value that he could there, you know.
Yeah, it's almost like he went. It was almost like you know the phrase, "You doth protest too much," right? Like thou doth protest too much. Like he put every single thing in there. I was like, oh God, if you just left out maybe the MAGA hat, or you know, or one of these other aspects, somebody might have believed you, right? But you put in every single trigger. You know, you left nothing out.
Yeah, it was too perfect, you know. It was like a cartoon sketch of.
It really was. It was like, oh yeah. Actually, I was picturing that in my mind. This whole cartoon.
Yeah. It's so sad because there's so many people that want to highlight racial tensions and things, you know, and trying to tar people as being racist just for bringing up the subject. Is, you know, people are so small-minded, and people are so tribal as well. You know, they want to be, they have their own groups, and they want to set groups off against other groups and things. You know,
here's what I think is a reality. I think that as a society, this is the least racist time that there ever has been in Western culture. Yeah. However, the perception is that it's really racist because it needs to be that way for certain political parties to thrive. Okay, and it's perpetuated by the media because they know that needs to be out there. But the thing is I don't think like I don't know any racist people. I really don't. I actually know no. I mean, at least I don't know if they are or not. But I've never even seen them make comments. It's never like that at all. And the thing is if you were to listen to the media, you'd think, oh my God, it's horrible out there. It's just a nightmare for all these different races, and it really isn't. Okay, well, how would you know, Gray? You're not really. Well, look, I just know it's. I don't know how to explain it, everybody. It always gets really frustrating to me. It's not. It's the least racist time in society, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. It's the whole clickbait culture, though, isn't it? With the news and the media, they just want to. I mean, they almost go searching for these kind of stories. It's kind of sad, but I mean, I think anyone that has their smarts about them can see it, like obviously the way that you can see it, you know. And I think there's more people that see it for what it is than maybe people realize, you know. I think mainstream media is kind of dying a death, and this new media is really coming to the fore, like like YouTubers.
Reality. Yeah. I mean, wouldn't you think it'd be great? Let's say you're watching the news, and there's a crime being discussed. And then you cut over to someone like me, like actually shows you the area. You get a different couple interviews and stuff. You got the real information. I'm not saying like. I'm just saying, like me. Instead you get these little quick sound bites, somebody throwing out a little sensationalistic story, and then you move on to some other bullshit.
Yeah, I know.
You just do 20 minutes on it. That's all. People care about this stuff. Instead, it's 3-minute quick little story, and then on to a car accident down the road. I mean,
yeah, and then the next big sports story or something, or some celebrity fell out of a fucking taxi. Whereas this is why guys like yourself and other YouTubers that are covering true crime are becoming so huge at the moment, because especially yourself, you treat it with respect. You give it the care and attention that really matters. I mean, the way that you do the maps and things, and really research it properly and stick to facts and not rumors. It's really impressive. I've been loving watching your videos.
Oh, I appreciate that. Wow, thanks.
Yeah, but it's great to just come on and just make you. I mean, I know you're aware of it. You've been doing it a long time, but it's just great to tell you that it's appreciated. The effort, because the effort you put in as well, it's really creative. All the software you use and the effort you go to doing proper research. It's just good to tell you that after hearing some of these asshole trolls call up and ruin one of the shows.
Oh, I appreciate it. I mean, I know there's sometimes, like, I think I kind of missed a few spots in the that case in the UK. I can't remember her name. I actually might need to do an update on that one, but where she went missing after going to the bar, and then
I missed that one.
She was picked up by somebody and then I had to like she lived in a different spot, and I had that wrong, and I updated it on a different show. But the thing is, I try to be as factual as possible, but sometimes you're just kind of working through it live, and maybe you don't have the right link or something like that, and you're off by a little bit, but I'll always fix it, and I don't mind admitting that, that wasn't the right spot. That's the difference. I don't really care. I don't need to keep, no, it's right. I don't even care if my entire theory is wrong. If there's something that comes out that completely throws my theory into the garbage, I will immediately switch to the one that's right. I don't care.
Yeah. It's fair play. I mean, that's exactly the mentality you want to have.
Thanks,
you don't want to be wrong for any longer than you are. That's definitely the mentality to have.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it. Yeah, you don't want to be longer than you need to be.
You are doing a great job. Great.
Yeah, exactly.
Part.
Right. Like, why be wrong? Like, the second you find out you're wrong, switch, because then you can get on the right train, and then you can start putting together the correct facts, because that's what's weird. Even like in the Delphi case with Abby and Libby, at first I had no clue what direction I was looking at and stuff like that, and I was coming up with all this crap. I just didn't really. I was like, God, what's going on? And finally, this one tree in the background of the suspect image was identified, and that changed everything. The moment that was revealed to me, it switched the entire direction, and everything came together, as a matter of fact, after that, because then everything started making sense. There's a suspect image on the bridge. There's a forked tree. It was on the opposite side of the bridge, and then you know that down the hill's on that side. Then you look for, oh, wow, look at the shallow part of the river, and,
Yeah, I mean, you really nailed that one. I was watching back those videos, man. That was a hell of a lot of
that was a lot of work.
Stuff. Yeah, there was a lot of stuff you figured out, and it's so eerie, that one. Those poor girls,
crazy.
And you can see the fucking barbarian just walking up there. It's horrible.
Yeah,
horrible.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what. When you start you get your channel going. Yeah, come on. We'll have you on, and
Yeah, absolutely. It's been great chatting to you, Greg. Yeah, absolutely.
Great. I appreciate it.
So keep up the good work, man.
What's your name, by the way? I get
Ian Barnes.
Oh, that's right, name. Ian Barnes. It said it on the screen.
Yeah,
so Ian Barnes, and then what's the channel name going to be called?
So it's Rabid Dog.
Rabid
I've
Dog.
Just I've just set up the channel there, but I've not got anything out yet. But I'll get onto you when I've got some sort of content.
Okay, cool. I appreciate you.
All right,
calling
Gray.
in. All right,
no problem.
Thanks a lot.
Have
man.
a good night.
All right, you too.
Thanks.
Bye. All right. And the girls were saying that his voice, Ian's voice, Wraith Yowler, and let's see, and Raven. Wow, that was good shit, though. All right. So here we go. We've got another caller here. 440. What's going on?
Hi, Gray. Hi, freaks. I wanted your opinion on a case from the 90s.
Is this Lou? Is this Lou?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Lou called in from the goddamn Paranormal channel. What in the hell is going on? Well, hey, Lou, let me fill you in here for a second. You just dropped the sexy voice level down a mile, okay? But everyone likes you. I know. But you didn't. You killed the vibe they were having with the sexy voices. All right, but that's okay. All right, Lou, let's get going here.
Okay, this is a case that I have firsthand knowledge of from the 90s. I wanted your opinion on it. I'm not going to give real specific details because you'll know why when I finish this story. In the 90s, I was raising my young family in a small town, and I had a neighbor across the street. He was a despicable person. He was on disability, and his wife would follow him around when he would go over to the store and buy a 30-pack every day. And she was overweight, obviously had very low self-esteem, seemed like she wasn't allowed to talk, wouldn't look you in the eye, was very dumpy, and you just got the feeling that something wasn't right. And he was always trying to talk to the local police when they would come by, like make friends with them. So this town was kind of, it had a reputation for being kind of racist.
Well, what's the name of the town? What's the case called? The name.
I'm going to tell you. You'll know why I can't give details because, you'll understand when I finish it. So these black people moved in next door to me. This guy lived across the street, and they were just a normal family. And he comes over and he's like, "What are you going to do about this? What are we going to do?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about?"
Yeah.
You know, they're better than a lot of the other neighbors. What are you talking about? What are we going to do about this? Get out of here, guy. You know, like, so he was an asshole. One day, he ends up shooting himself in the back of the head, allegedly, while he's on his treadmill. Shot himself in the back of the head with a pistol. Subsequently, the neighbors that lived on that side of the street said that they would hear her being brutally beaten, his wife, every night. And it was like, case closed. That's all. It was a suicide. He shot himself in the back of the head on his treadmill. So, within like a week or two, the widow is wearing makeup, wearing nice clothes, losing weight, and smiling and saying hi when you see her.
Yeah.
What do you think? I mean, I don't 100% believe in our justice system, but what do you think of? I think that everyone just like collectively unspoken. It was agreed that the world was a better place without this guy.
Yeah, but I mean, he was shot in the back of the head on a treadmill. That doesn't sound like he was.
That's why it's always bothering me.
He got murdered. There's no way in hell anybody would do that. Oh, I'm gonna go running and then hold a gun behind your head and shoot yourself in the head. If that part of the story is true. But what was the next part that you said? I got kind of lost there for a second.
Well, I mean, was justice served there? If this was a despicable person who was beating her every night, and I found out about that later. I didn't live on that side of the street, so they said in the summertime when the windows were open, they could hear her being beaten every night after he finished his 30-pack. Was justice served? Because they just dropped the case, like case closed, he committed suicide.
Well, it might be a little bit like the case in the Cheryl Coker case where during the time after she went missing, there was a body found about 10 miles from her house that I thought, God, that's got to be Cheryl Coker. It was around the same time, but it turned out to be a pedophile that was murdered. And I really doubt the police put a lot of resources into trying to figure out who killed that guy. You see?
Yeah.
So it could be something like that. I don't know.
Well, what do you think of the widow not even like laying low and pretending to mourn for a little while? I mean, within a week or two, she was walking around, wearing new clothes and had makeup on and a new hairdo. Yeah,
she probably had the phone. She probably had the phone calls in saying, "Hey, when do I get the insurance money?" You know, right away. Like, as a matter of fact, the bullet was still in the air, and then she's hitting the enter key on the phone. Right, like she's just.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't know what to think, but then when the neighbors who lived over there said they heard her being brutally beaten every night after he finished his 30-pack, I'm like, okay, I guess that's,
you
know.
Huh. Yeah, I guess that's, sometimes there's sort of this, what do you call it? Vigilante justice, and law enforcement looks the other way at certain cases. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. What's your opinion of that? I mean, I don't know what to think. Still to this day, it's.
I don't know. You know what? The story I always bring up is the karate instructor who abducted another father's kid and took him away, and then allegations of sexual abuse came up when they found the kid and the karate instructor. Then the father, as when the guy was being flown back into town, was by a phone booth at the airport, pulled out a gun and blew the guy's brains out. He blew away. It was on video. Yeah, it was on video. He blew the karate instructor's brains out, and then the judge, they just gave him time served and really nothing. So that's beautiful. I think it's awesome. Yeah, I mean, even though he is absolutely guilty of first-degree murder, he planned it. He went to the airport, shot him in the head. That's about as first-degree murder as you can get, but it was absolutely, society deemed it okay because he abused his son. I can play it on the screen right now if you guys want to see it. All right? I'm going to do it. Here we go.
I remember that.
I'm going to play it so you can. I don't know if you can hear it, so you might have to be quiet when I'm doing it. So hold on a second. Karate instructor. Yeah, there it is. Shot by father. Here we go. All right. That's not it. Karate Instructor killed by dad. Abuse. Blah blah blah. See if it shows up. Oh man, I used to pop right up when I think. See, YouTube's changed everything around. That video would show up all the time. See, that's crazy. It was even in my search. Let's see. Eddie let's see. Eddie karate instructor killed. Ah, crap. I didn't spell that right either. Instructor. You have to wait a second. Is this the one right here? No, that's not it. Wow, that's amazing. They buried that one. Oh, yeah, well, I don't even have it up yet anyway, so. Is that the right one? No, it's this one. Yeah, I can't even find it. Man, they used to always show up. Let's see. Let me type this in somewhere else. Karate instructor killed after abducting child. Yeah, there it is. Okay.
Doucette, a karate instructor, had abducted 11-year-old Jody Plauché several weeks earlier and taken him to California. When Jody was rescued and returned to his family, his father Gary was coping with reports that Doucette had sexually assaulted his son.
We didn't know what to do. You just feel helpless.
10 days later, when the police flew Doucette back to face trial, Gary Plauché was waiting with a gun.
As the suspect came through the airport, I readied my camera, raised it up to get a close-up shot of him. As I got a close-up shot and as he got parallel to me, Gary Plauché shoots and kills him.
Good for him. Good for him.
Gary, why? And to this day, it stands out in my mind. The shooter, Gary Plauché, says, if it had been your child, you would have done the same thing too.
Today, Abram McGull is an assistant U.S. attorney and views that tape through the eyes of a federal prosecutor.
I would have to say the videotape was the most ideal witness in this case. You can actually see him take the gun out of his boot, pull it up to the shoulder lever of Jeff Doucette and pull the trigger and shoot him.
Yet Plauché, after pleading no contest to manslaughter, got off with only 5 years probation.
Isn't that beautiful? I don't know if you heard that or not, but unbelievable.
Two parents
Yeah,
saying
I'm
goodbye
watching.
to their little boy, just 50.
Yeah. So I think that was awesome. I mean, it was first-degree murder, right? But he got 5 years probation and absolutely nothing, and that's exactly how it should have been. Because like he said, if that was anybody, one of your kids, you would probably do the same thing. Or at least every parent would want to. Some don't do it, and they probably always regret it the rest of their lives. Like, God, I could have, you know.
So this case of my neighbor shouldn't have gone through the court system like that burning bed Farrah Fawcett was in that movie. Remember, like, she could have still probably got off because all the neighbors heard her being beaten every night, but I guess justice was served.
Yeah. So there you go. I think that's a similar type story. You know, although, you know, in this case, the kid's, he's a kid, right? Total victim. And I guess the wife is too, but it's a little different. But, you know. Well, there you go. Man, Lou's making his presence even on the Crime Channel now, everybody. Unbelievable. You still there, Lou?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, I'm going to try to have my wife and my brother call in Friday to verify the stories I told you, because I heard you say you didn't believe them, really. Like, they'll tell you first.
I never said that. I never said that. Jesus.
Oh,
Come on.
You said I thought you said that. Did
no, I said no. Yeah. You want to hear it firsthand. I didn't say I didn't believe you. I just said you got to hear. You got to hear the story from the person. It's called personal paranormal experiences, which means it's their story, not your story. You know. So you're delving into.
People,
I'm going to tell You're delving into. I'm going to tell everybody else's paranormal story. We should just call it Paranormal Stories by Lou.
I tried to get them to call in, but they are nervous, or they, like my brother said, he's afraid the thing will come back, and my wife gets all emotional. She doesn't really talk about it, like people don't like to talk about those things.
Yeah.
Some people, I don't know.
All right, Lou. I'm going to go use the facilities for a minute, and then we'll get some new callers calling in. But
okay.
I like having you call in, Lou. It's actually kind of funny. I got to give you shit, though, when you first call in, though. It's just the way it is.
That's fine.
I got your voice recognized, though. That's what I like.
I wasn't trying to disguise it. But,
right? No, I know you weren't. What I'm saying is I know it now, so I can actually immediately say Lou. Stuff to do. I can do it with Richard Canuck too when he calls in, and Raven.
Every week, from Friday to Friday, I wait for something paranormal to happen, and nothing happens.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? So all we can do is talk about the old paranormal stories.
I'm out of personal paranormal stories.
Right. All right, Lou. I'm going to go use the facilities now, though. Right.
Okay.
All right. Well, thanks for calling in. Thanks for calling in, Lou. I'll talk to you later. Jesus. You're crazy, man. All right. I'll talk to you later.
All right.
Yeah, bye. Shit. Hey, I'll be back in a second. boy. You know, if I had the toilet flushing sound, I might have played it, but I didn't have it with me this time. Sorry about that. So what's been going on? I don't see any calls waiting. All right. I guess nobody else wants to call in. Poop is silent. Oh, okay. I get it, Steve. I get it, man. Oh, crap. I should have washed my hands. Oh, jeez. Oh, you need a number. Okay. You guys don't have it memorized? I don't know how somehow Ian, maybe through Raven somehow, got that Skype number somehow. I don't know how that happened. Weird stuff. All right, there it is. Right there. I think that's it. Hold on, that might not be right. Yeah, I think that's right. No, it wasn't right. This is the one right here. Huh, weird. I wonder how that happened. Dun, dun, dun. And this is the subreddit right here. Alright. That's the phone number right there, okay? Alright. Got a call coming in. Got a call coming in. All right. 206, you're on the air.
Hey, Gray. It's yeah. How are you?
Who is it?
How are you doing?
Oh, you're kind of breaking up a little bit. I couldn't hear who you were.
It is Eritrea.
Oh, Eritrea. As I always say, Eritrea.
Whatever. It all works.
Eritrea. All right, cool. Hey, thank you, Picture Renee.
Gray, been missing your live shows because
Can
of
you hear
work.
that audio?
I hope this helps in some small way. You're still the best channel on YouTube.
Well, thank you.
Can totally hear it. That's great.
Yeah,
So
that's cool.
I have a question. Is this legit generic? Like I can call in about anything that might interest you and your viewers?
Yeah, it's just a generic call-in. Sure.
Okay, cool. So I got a quickie, but it's interesting to me because I think we have something in common. I live in the Pacific Northwest too, but I used to live in Los Angeles. And I'll give away my age, but I was a huge Art Bell fan.
Yeah,
and
he used to say Pacific Northwest, the West Coast, and across our satellite trailblazer. No, that was Bill Schonley. Sorry. Anyways, go ahead.
But I used to live in Los Angeles, and I don't know. I used to find myself like kind of being insomniac, so I would listen to something to go to sleep, and that's how I discovered Art Bell.
Yeah, he was awesome.
And yeah, he was awesome. And the thing that I think I loved about him the most is that he would kind of give everybody a shot, like calling in or guess. And no matter kind of how wacky they were, he wouldn't necessarily buy into it like Nori ended up doing.
Right.
But he'd let them tell their story, and not necessarily always believe it. But in this instance, this one night, I'm listening to Art Bell. And I had just started listening to him, and he got this phone call from this guy who was super young. And I remember I was just falling asleep, and the guy tells a story about how his friend recorded a guy being beaten by the police in the middle of the road in Los Angeles off his apartment balcony with a camcorder.
Mm-hmm.
And that it was a black male, African American, now we say, and that he was being beaten. He was brutally beat by cops, and they were going to like release this, send it to the media the next day. And it was really weird because I remember thinking before, Art Bell kind of just like lets people tell their story. Why are you in jail?
Oh, I don't know, a new screen. Get people to laugh a little bit. It didn't have anything to do
I'm
with
like, what did you do that was so mean?
Well, I'm always so mean. There's always something, you know.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
But I remember like he let the guy tell the story and then said no. That can't be right.
Yeah.
Like he just couldn't believe it. He actually had an opinion about this. And the next day, the Rodney King tapes got released to the media, and that whole thing blew up. And that's kind of how I remember discovering Art Bell. So I'd been listening to him for a while.
Did he kind of predict it or something, or what? I mean...
No, it was a neighbor of the guy that actually supposedly recorded this videotape. Word was on the street that this video was there.
Oh, so he was the one that recorded the beating of Rodney King. Wow.
He said he was the neighbor of the guy in the apartment complex who recorded the video of Rodney King.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Okay.
And called into Art Bell and said, "Hey, the story's going to break tomorrow. Just want to let you know." And Art Bell's kind of like, that doesn't sound right.
Oh.
And
but it was real.
It was
See?
right.
That means every once in a while,
it was real.
when I go, you know, maybe it is real. Right? But Art Bell was probably right because he went with he wasn't right eventually, but he was going with what's most logical, right? And every once in a while, that's not right, but you'll be right more often. Okay, that's the reality of it. So what I don't like is when people get lucky and they're right. You know, like they might say, "Oh my God, his left shoe was probably tied and he put it under, and oh my God, it comes out that was true." Well, you didn't get that from anything other than just randomly lucky guess at something. It wasn't like you looked at the facts and came up with it. But in this case, he just didn't maybe believe the caller. You know, when I started listening to him that was, what year was that? 93-ish? Or what year?
92.
Oh, so you probably started listening to Art Bell before me, because I started listening to him during the Oklahoma City bombing. But every time you're driving late at night, you'd hear him. But I didn't seriously listen to him until about 90. Wasn't that 94 Oklahoma City bombing? I think.
Yeah, it was a couple years after this whole Rodney King thing. Yeah, so probably 94.
See, that's the Oklahoma City bombing is very interesting story. He had a guest on named Jana Davis who wrote a book called The Third Terrorist, and it was incredible. She goes through, she was even on O'Reilly's show back in the day, telling what she had, all these affidavits that said that Timothy McVeigh, they met with Middle Eastern men prior to that and were planning it. And there's even a guy that ran from the vehicle that wasn't McVeigh. There was it was crazy.
Yep.
All this stuff, and it's like legitimate shit, but they shut her down. The government did, because Clinton wanted to pin the attack on a right wing wacko and not have it be sort of a foreign terror attack. It was pretty weird. It's really compelling information. But they just... And
this is where some conspiracies are actually conspiracies over just a conspiracy theory.
Right. The thing is, in this case, I actually think it was...
conspiracies.
Well, there really are conspiracies. They're just not as common as people think. But the strangeness about this is, what's his name? Nichols. He actually traveled to the Philippines. And they're saying he met with Abu Sayyaf over there, which is a branch of Al Qaeda at the time, right? And then he comes back, and then he's meeting with all these Iraqi sort of affiliate. I guess what you have to do is check out the book, And there's actually articles online, and it's really amazing. And the guy that they drew there was a sketch. The guy looked just like a guy named Musawi, who was one of arrested from Al Qaeda. Looked just like, I mean, literally the sketch. It was a clone, you know. And I actually contacted her and told her, I go, God, this stuff's incredible. And then she just sort of, I don't know, she just quit. Yeah, well, she just quit responding because she was kind of, I think she was nervous about it and just kind of let it go. And she became sort of just like a videographer somewhere when she was actually a really good reporter at the time. So.
I'll have to check that out. Thanks. That's an awesome recommendation. I really, really appreciate that.
Yeah, well, just type in Jana Davis and Bill O'Reilly. It's pretty crazy interview.
I mean, who can forget Gina Davis, that name? You know, we know that name. So
well, it's Jana, Jayna.
Oh.
So that way.
Jayna.
N-A, yeah, like Jana, yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, she has a book called The Third Terrorist. Yeah.
It's coming right up. What did you ever think of Dr. Doom? Because I'll tell you, as a youngin', I was terrified. Do you remember Dr. Doom?
No. The name sounds familiar, but I don't know.
Yeah, he was a regular guest on Art Bell's show, and he would talk about.
Oh, maybe that's why I remember
Manhattan
his name.
Project. Basically, they were talking about
the Philadelphia experiment.
Oh God! It was where they could see into the future, and the whole kind of future that was approaching was that the government was tunneling in because they knew this major catastrophic event was coming, and I can't remember the guy's name, but they had a whole. I should have been better prepared for this. I feel a little
Richard
nervous now. But
C. Hoagland. No, I'm just kidding. Remember that? He's every day he was on there. It was crazy. Not every day, but you know.
A lot.
Manhattan. Let's see. Huh.
Yeah, I want to say he was affiliated with Manhattan Project, and then they were doing this remote viewing.
Oh yeah, I know who that was. That was Ed Dames.
Yeah,
Ed Dames.
You go.
See, boom, I got it. And Ada's in the remote. That's right, Major Ed Dames with the remote viewing.
The dude freaked me out.
That was kind of weird stuff, you know. Right.
But I mean, and then after a while, I was just like, dude, I can't believe this crap anymore, you know. But anyway. I remember like those were the nights that I'd kind of turn off Art Bell. Otherwise, I was glued to it.
Yeah, well, here's the thing: when you talk about aliens and shit, oh man, I don't care what time the show started. I'm there to the finish, or ended. You know, is what I meant to say. But yeah, if it goes to 2:30 in the morning, I'm on it. You know, it's like it was crazy. Remember when they were doing the alien autopsy? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They did the alien autopsy stuff with what was the guy's name on the alien autopsy? It was who was the guy that oh God, no, I used to know all that stuff. It was crazy. Yeah, I actually believe the Roswell incident. I think that's a real
so much of that
thing.
Stuff makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it's crazy because there's a guy named so you have Jesse Marseille in the Roswell incident. He was the intelligence officer, and he gets sent out to collect the crash items. And he goes out there, and he's just blown away. He's never seen any of this stuff before. There's even this metal that you could crumble up, and then it would straighten back out. Memory metal, they call it. And it would just straighten back out. And then he just couldn't believe it. And they immediately put out a report, flying disc captured. And then the government said, hey, what the hell are you doing? Don't say that. So then they had the Walter Hote, the communications officer. He came out and said, oh, yeah, it was just and then well, I don't know if he was one of them, but General Ramey, he got up there in a press conference and said it was, and had Marseille say, the intelligence officer, say that it was a weather balloon. And he was like, oh yeah, it's a weather balloon. But then, you know, I mean, it sounds stupid, but he went to the National Enquirer. He came forward, and then he subsequently went to other places. But, you know, other reputable news organizations won't listen to a story like that. They'll just make a joke of it. So he came out and said that, hey, they made me do that. And here's something crazy. The Walter Hote, the intelligence, or not, the communications officer that I mentioned, he signed a sworn affidavit only to be read after he died. And so he put it out there, and then after he died, they read it, and he said that he actually was brought to the hangars, saw the bodies, you know, actual aliens. I mean, it's crazy shit. But, like, why would you do that? If you're going to die, you're not going to benefit from it, you know?
Well, maybe he was worried something would happen to him if he was living, and it was...
Yeah, right, exactly. He couldn't say it when he was alive. They make you... They actually... I can't remember. There's all these different characters' names that I can't remember their names now, but they were told that they cannot say anything. Ever reveal what happened. Or something... They even said, like, you see that desert out there? They'll find your bones in it someday. Something like... Stuff like that.
Oh, hell yeah.
So people just said,
Yeah.
I'm not going to say anything. And think how easy it was back then to isolate something. So let's say...
Just disappear someone, too.
Yeah, let's say a spaceship crashed in Roswell, right? It's a small town back then. You know, you drive your military in, you block off the roads, and you just you silence everybody. It's not like today where there's cell phones with videos and all that kind of stuff. You can literally just shut down all communication, right?
Well, you remember the Phoenix Lights? Where all of these different witnesses recorded these lights over Arizona?
I do. That was like in like 2000 maybe, something like that, or even before that.
Yeah, it was late 90s.
Yeah,
and that was Art Bell had like 2 or 3 days where that's all they talked about.
Yeah, and it's still kind of a big deal. They even had the governor and stuff still put out inquiries about it. You know. Hey, here's one of the things. Here's one of the things that's weird about Roswell. You know, if you believe in conspiracies, is that see, there was a mortician. You probably remember all this part. A mortician in the town, and during the night of the crash, he was called, and the military is the one that called him and said, "Listen, we need 4 child-sized coffins." Okay, if you can get those out there. So he goes, whoa, wow, okay, yeah, sure. But then he drove out to the hospital, and then a nurse that he knew came to the door and kind of looked at him and kind of said, hey, don't come in here. Don't come in here.
Like, you don't want to see this, right?
Yeah, because the nurse actually saw the bodies, and then she met up with him at a bar later and told him what she had seen, and then she died in a plane crash just after that.
Oh. Dude, you're freaking me now.
I know, it's some weird shit though. Wow. I mean, the whole thing. I mean, I can't I don't have the documents and all this stuff. This is just the stuff that was in the stories that they were telling. And actually, it's wild, all of it. And his son.
It is wild, and there's enough documentation out there that can corroborate some of the stories that we know they're not all false.
Yeah, well, the thing is Jesse Marseille's son was a dentist, but he was there when he saw the memory medal, and he, as an adult, you know, he died, I think, a few years back, and he said, "No, we saw this. We put it at the table, you crumble it up, and it shoot right back out straight." It was weird, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know. All that stuff's interesting to me, you know.
Yeah, same here. But
maybe
we had that in common, and that was my discovery of Art Bell story. So
Yeah, what else? What else you got on that? Wow, someone said, "Hey,
On
Jaina."
Art Bell?
Wow, Jaina Puppy Love. That's the same name as Jaina Davis right there, in the chat right there.
See?
Wow, what are the odds of
We'll have to use
that?
that on the paranormal. I'll have to use that on the paranormal channel as a strange coincidence if you get really bored.
Yes. Just last week on the Gray Hughes Investigates channel, while discussing Jaina Davis, within 10 minutes, a person named Jaina Puppy Love showed up. What are the odds that she'd have the same exact spelling of the first name? And then play the X-Files music and fade to black, right? There we go.
Yep.
Yeah, good stuff.
Sounds like a case for Mulder and Scully for sure.
Yeah, but hey, thanks. That was cool. Revisiting.
Thank you.
Yeah. We should do some of that. You know, that's the thing is I actually love talking about that kind of stuff. My only problem is it's hard to factually, you know, it should just be understood that you can't get the same sort of facts you get in crime stuff. But given that recent interview on CNN with that CIA guy that studied all this stuff, people need to start going, okay, wow, that's weird. Because he was on CNN. You should go look that out. I've played it on the air before, where he literally says that they've studied spacecraft that are moving in ways that are not in any country's arsenal or inventory is the term he used. And at the end, when Erin Burness, or I think that's her name, said, so what's the do you think that these are aliens from other planets? And he said, well, yes, basically at the end. I mean, it was crazy. So it's like, you know, this is just like in the last year. It was wild. I couldn't believe it. But it's weird how it just sort of fades away. That's the biggest story that interview is one of the biggest stories of the last 10 years. And it just sort of fades into nothingness, you know? Unbelievable.
It doesn't get the attention you would think it would get. But, I mean, I had a sister that worked for Lockheed Martin, and she couldn't tell us anything about her job, obviously, because, you know, they were government contracts. But, like, when we were in the Bay Area, we used to see all kinds of stuff that moved in ways that it wasn't supposed to move. And, you know, they could always explain it by, you know, these are jet fighters that the government's working on. It was like when they were developing that one fighter that came out, that black stealth.
The stealth fighter, yeah.
Yeah. And so some of that stuff, but you'd see other stuff in the sky that was like, this is definitely not anything the government would put out. It's way too noticeable. But, yeah. I do believe. So,
I do too.
Well, thank you for letting me share that.
Yeah. I mean, I believe without actually having... I would say it's beyond sort of a faith thing. Like, oh, I just have faith. I just think the odds of there not being... Like, here's the thing. Dinosaurs were on the Earth for like 300 million years. But let's say the meteor that hit the Earth and then killed off the dinosaurs happened 2 million years before that. I mean, how about 100 million years? Let's just throw that out there. Well, then we would have been here 100 million years earlier. And where would we be now? I mean, we are so advanced now, but like, wow, it's not even close. I mean...
But we're so not.
You know, and 100 million years from now, we you know, it's like... So that's what they could be like on other planets, other creatures or whatever. And, you know, I know it sounds fanciful and weird to discuss, but in reality, it's just the way it is. There's trillions and trillions of planets out there.
But it sounds fanciful to discuss until you think about the fact that, like, I watched a SpaceX takeoff last night from Cape Canaveral, and it was such a huge accomplishment to, like, launch this Dragon Dragon vessel out, and they're going to get it. I think it's there today or tomorrow out to the International Space Station. And ultimately, Elon Musk says we're going to colonize Mars. Look how close Mars is to us.
Yeah.
And we can barely get there. We just lost our rover out there. So
to
me, it doesn't sound sensible.
The new one got lost? That new one?
No, the old one. We lost the old one. The one that was supposed to work for 8 months and ran for 14 years.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? That's awesome. Well, that's fine then. Yeah, but the new one's still out there doing some shit, right? Like the new one.
Yeah, I think so. I think the last one that they put out is still out. But the original, the OG...
You know, let me ask you guys something. Let me ask you guys something. Don't you think NASA could pay for itself if it just had a live rover that had commercials? Like literally, let me ask you that. Like if there was a rover on the moon, for example, that literally just drove around and sent a live feed back that had commercials on it, I would probably watch that 10 hours a day. I mean, I literally would never. Even if it was just the moon, just seeing like that is the most incredible thing ever. Watching it driving around, going through craters, driving around, and then do the same thing on Mars. Just send it back, a signal, and have it driving around, looking around at things. I would literally...
Don, you're absolutely wrong. They do absolutely have the technology to do that. That's how the rover communicated with Earth. They absolutely do have the technology to send data back over. But the thing, sorry, I just saw the chat. I'm like, no, Don's not right. But the thing that struck me about it is that, like, if you see and this speaks to what you're saying, the energy in NASA, because NASA's working in conjunction with SpaceX. SpaceX is using their launch pads and paying for all this. But SpaceX is private, right?
Yeah.
SpaceX is getting so much more done in a privatized fashion because they're paying for it than NASA can, being funded by the government. So I think that privatized mix with the government could make that happen.
Well, yeah, why doesn't SpaceX just send a rover to the moon that sends a signal back to one of the satellites that it's just live TV 24/7, and the thing just keeps traveling around? I mean, can you imagine it driving by one of the flags that we planted in the 60s? I mean, my God, I think everybody would be, oh my God, look at that. The Super Bowl, who cares?
It's really there. It's really there.
Like literally, let's put it this way. If they said, right now, in 2 hours, the rover on the moon will be driving by the location that Neil Armstrong put his foot down and said,
people would be all over it.
Oh my God, they wouldn't even watch the Super Bowl. They would switch right over to that and watch that the whole time. And as a matter of fact,
hell yeah,
I would watch that shit. Like if I was going to bed, I would turn it to that channel and just watch it for 2 hours and then go to sleep.
It's so calming too.
Yeah, it's incredible. I don't know why they haven't done it. It's weird. It would make billions of dollars.
I guess if you really want to see that come true, you got to get on Twitter. I tweeted something at you. You didn't respond because you don't use it very much.
Yeah.
Get on Twitter.
Yeah.
I swear Elon Musk is so active on Twitter, and the dude, when he says he's going to do something, he does it. Just tweet at him. He will probably respond to you.
Yeah, it's weird. Has anybody thought of this yet? It seems so simple and easy. You know?
Well, somebody has, and his name is Gray Hughes.
Well, there you go.
I would tweet at Elon.
Okay. I'll do it tomorrow.
Follow that
hashtag live moon cam. Right, yeah, there you go. God, cool. It just seems so obvious.
Well,
all right.
Thank you so much. I've enjoyed this call and enjoy your show every single time I can catch you. And thanks for putting up with me, chat. I've been talking forever, but
wow, it's been fun.
You're awesome.
I appreciate it. Thanks for calling in.
All right, talk to you later. Take care.
And it was Eritrea. Wait, hold on. Say it right. Say it right again.
Yeah. Eritrea.
Oh Jesus. Yeah. Eritrea, everybody. Eritrea. All right, thanks for calling.
All right.
I gotta remember.
Take care. Thank you.
Right,
bye.
Thanks. Bye. All right, there we go. That was fun. Reliving the old Art Bell days. Eritrea. Finally said it partially right. But you know what? I think that's it for tonight. I've been on for a lot of hours tonight, don't you think? Today, in general. That was fun. Had Lou call in. Ian Barnes. Wraith Yowler. Boy, that Lou guy, though, boy. It's kind of cool to have those, you know, every once in a while you get the regular, oh, Lou, like when sports talk radio, you always got the same people, they know who they are. Yeah. Eritrea called in. Oh yeah, Alphalax called in with the subreddit. Okay, we'll have to do it tomorrow or something like that. I'd have to I gotta sign. I do have a login and stuff. I just don't have it ready right now. Yeah, that was cool. I actually kind of liked it. I mean, maybe I should do a show like that every once in a while, where it's just, well, it's a little bit more like the personal paranormal channel, but I don't know. Picture Renee. And by the way, Illiterate Inc., everybody, is LJ from the old days. Right? What do you got to say, LJ? You get it? Yeah, that was good stuff. Hey, it's 101 Illiterate Inc. Yeah, I always know Kit Kat is too when she calls in. All right, I'm just going to do a flyby straight out of... let's go to Area 51. That seems like where we headed late in the evening here. In Nevada. Oh, look at this. Wow. They even have built the 3D buildings and everything. This place does not officially exist, but there it is. Isn't that amazing? In the salt flats of, and a lot of people would sneak in on these mountains up here and look in out over Area 51, where they do test aircraft out there. So hell, let's do it, man. I'm gonna get rid of this. Oh wait, hold on, before I do that. On this live, thank you to Angie B and Rabbit Dog at the, wow, just right now. Let's see if it says something. Wow, just typed it in the Skype box, huh? Oh, Rabbit Dog, the YouTube. Yeah, that's right. Oh, okay. I thought Raven snuck it to you, because he calls in like that.
Hey, Gray, good stuff. Peas. I just found you from typing your name into the Skype search box. Really cool chatting to you. Here's 5 Guinnesses for you, winking face.
Yeah, I don't think I could polish off 5 Guinnesses. Let's put it that way. All right. So here we go. We're going to do the flyby. And thanks for everybody else for contributing to the channel throughout the day. I appreciate it. Sorry about the video earlier where the trolls ruined it. All right. There were some good calls there. I just, I can't keep videos up like that because there's too many people that pretend that they're outraged and can cause your channel problems. So I suggest anytime you have a video that there's things that go on that you can see somebody making a problem out of, just delete it. There's no, it's not a big deal, right? It really isn't. And that's the advice I'm going to give to any new YouTubers like you, Rabid Dog. Just delete videos where people are whack jobs. All right, here we go. Oh, look at that slow zoom. The slow zoom. Oh, Raven's dancing on the aliens. He did it. There we go. More realistic, right there. Woo! Bam! Very artistic of me. Thank you very much. Save the applause for later. I can really tell the better quality of my computer with the way this moves around like that. Right there in Zeta Minor. Right there. There's an alien that lives on that planet. Our Freaks Investigates subreddit, where the trolls are active. All right, everybody. Thank you. That was a pretty wild ride tonight. It was interesting, though. I liked it. That was fun. You know, like it just kept on going. Interesting stuff the whole night. And not a damn troll to be found. Of course, there was a couple calls early that stayed on hold for about an hour that just mysteriously disappeared. Pretty weird. Hey, thank you, Apocalypse Fra. Meaning Apocalypse Woman, we've learned. We've all learned a lot on this channel, especially things like that are absolutely meaningless. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, listen, I really appreciate everybody showing up tonight. That was fun. And supporting the channel all day on different videos and so forth. And it's been cool getting to know some new people here. I don't think I've ever talked to Ian before, but seemed like a cool dude.
Sweet ride we've
Smart
had
guy.
tonight. Let's try it again soon.
Yeah.
Face blowing a kiss, black heart, smiling face with sunglasses.
That's funny how it reads all those. Face blowing a kiss, black heart, face with sunglasses. All right. Anyways, everybody, I hope you all have a good night's sleep tonight, and we'll probably see you guys tomorrow night on Gray Hughes Investigates. All right, and check out Our Freaks Investigates on the subreddit, where you can bash back at all the trolls. All right, everybody? So that's it for tonight. Blue's under his cover. You can kind of see half of his ass sitting out right there. I don't know if what part of his body that actually... Blue! Blue, 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 blue. I think that's his butt, and that's his tail there, and a leg. Really hard to make out at this point. But appreciate you all showing up. And until next time, everybody. Let me look back at the camera. Be safe out there.